Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I've got a record-breaking game to show to you guys that happened last weekend at the RLCS kickoff LAN. Diaz, whose POV we're on right now, and Space Station Gaming in Game 3 against Vitality as Zen Stizzy Exotic. He broke the goals in one game record for an RLCS LAN. Before this, it was I think it was so many players, like 12-way tie for 5 goals in a single game. Diaz has got 6, and he's done it against Vitality. He's done it against one of the best rosters in the world. So this isn't a LAN where he's pulling up and he's beating one of the emerging regions. He's doing it against a team that should be competing for any event they go for, any event they enter. So absolutely incredible stuff. This is the game that he did it. Before this, the record was shared by Maestro, Cuxer, Casio, First Killer, Mist, apparently Jack Atomic, Banana Head, Kaliers, Beast Mode, Kofer, and Rawas, who all had 5 goals in a single game in an RLCS LAN. Diaz gets 6, and he does it in unbelievable fashion. So this team, Space Station Gaming, coming into the LAN, impressing a lot of people, including myself, looking like they might be NA's hope to win the kickoff LAN. At the event itself, spoilers, it actually did end up being Shopify Rebellion, emerging as the top NA team in the absence of NRG, who didn't qualify. But overall, NA's looking really strong. I'm going to make more videos about the kickoff LAN, but this is how Diaz got his first goal. And Looker Reveal tried to steal it. We need to get a Looker Reveal POV on this. It's like all of us, I'm sure. He tries to steal his teammate's goal. Diaz, at this moment, obviously, getting his first goal, doesn't realize that he's in a record-breaking game, but that almost goal steal by Reveal nearly ruined this potential record from Diaz. I should mention this is Game 3 of the series. I think I did mention it's Game 3. Series tied 1-1, so this is absolutely anything to play for, everything to play for between Vitality and SSG. And yeah, quite a lot of recent history in this matchup, especially between Zen, Exotic, Reveal, who was on SSG last season with Kofer and Scribbles. Yeah, they had some pretty interesting series against each other. But there's the tie, so just about 2 minutes into the game, nothing too crazy. Actually, except the fact that Chronic's got 4 points. It happens to the best of us. And then I think we had a bit of a DC here. I'm just going to let that play through so you guys can see what happens to the replay. But yeah, there was a DC, then they just rewind back to where they were. So we're back into the game. Chronic somehow lagging on the LAN client, not sure how that's possible, but okay, game on, and this is where Stizzy really, sorry, not Stizzy, I don't know where that came from. This is where Diaz really locks in and starts to put together this record-breaking performance. But it's not just about him, it's about the team as well. You know, for this series, Diaz was a wrecking ball in offense, he was a playmaker, he was a striker when his team needed him to be, a finisher. But you're also going to need to look out for the defensive stops that Reveal gets, some of the insane touches that Chronic gets in defense. I mean, this team really did bait Vitality in multiple times. Vitality were getting baited in. They think they've got Space Station in trouble, and then Space Station get one touch Vitality's not expecting, and it leads to a goal at the other end. That was, for me, I think the biggest difference between these teams. They both looked like they had very impressive offense, but Space Station's defense was a different level. So there's Diaz's second goal. Chronic with the little air dribble mid. Looked like he might be going for more touches, but he calls Diaz into the play. And then Diaz wins a kickoff back to Chronic, and it's 3-1. So Diaz getting his first assist there. First and only assist. He's going to get this game. But yeah, still, at this moment, this isn't anything too crazy. This is a pretty regular RLCS LAN game, and it's in this final 2 minutes that it becomes anything but. So it's, there you go, forcing high. Now look at this touch by Chronic. That is unbelievable. We're going to rewind and look at that in just a second, but Diaz does get the goal here. Rewinding back, we'll go to Chronic's POV. Where is he? Oh, he's actually all the way over here. Hold on, let's try that again. Wait, I've gone past him. Where is he? Where is Chronic? Ah, here he is. Sorry. Let's watch Chronic's POV of the whole thing. He's 1v3 in defense here. Gets a skim out mid from a crazy backboard read. And Diaz, who was actually just forcing Zen high, gets an open net. This is all from Chronic's touch here. And we'll look at Stizzy POV as well, because this is absolutely ridiculous. It highlights one of Vitality's biggest weaknesses. They do overextend, and they do get caught out. Exotic running ahead for a bump. Stizzy waiting mid. He thinks that's got to go mid. Nope. Insane read by Chronic. Diaz runs away with the goal. Absolutely insane stuff. And now the game is super one-sided in favor of SSG. They're running away with this. Vitality have to take risks. and those risks will get punished again and again by Diaz in this record-breaking performance. First of all, running down the line, realizing he's getting beaten to that one, so he just steals the boost, turns around, gets the shot on target. 5-1. Vitality being made to look a bit silly here in this third game. So many insanely high-scoring games between Vitality and SSG in the past year. Esports World Cup, Vitality bodied SSG. SSG gave up at the World Championship. SSG were putting so many goals past Vitality before Vitality locked in and got the reverse sweep. And now it's happening again, and it's Vitality taking the L. So huge win for SSG in this matchup. And Vitality have got a lot to work on. Like I said, especially when it comes to their defense, because they're getting a bit clumped up, I think. If you notice, if you watch back this whole series in Vitality's tournament, the Space Station's tournament, Space Station do a much better job of spreading out in defense, covering multiple angles. Vitality kind of get stuck in the near post area a lot. They don't leave themselves with many follow-up opportunities, and it just gives their opponents in this match and in this game, Space Station, chances to get multiple shots on them in a row. Yeah, Vitality need to work on that. They need to really do a better job of covering more options in defense so that they don't all get stuck trying to challenge the ball. But hey, Diaz will not care. Look at again as he gets this ceiling shot going. Perfect first touch. Another touch on the way down. Another touch on the way down. And then the half volley from the ceiling air dribble past two defenders. Again, punishing Vitality for one of their weaknesses throughout the kickoff weekend was that they just end up all doing the same thing in defense at the same time. They're not splitting their tasks. They're not spreading out. And now a chance to get yet another one. Stizzy out of position. Diaz accepts Chronic's mid pass, and that is 6 goals for the first time ever in an RLCS LAN. And not just that, 968 points in regulation. I actually don't know if there's been a 1,000 point game in regulation before. There's been many 1,000 point games, but that's usually with a long overtime involved. The highest points ever in a single game of RLCS is by Beast Mode. On an RLCS LAN as Beast Mode, he got 1,339, but that was in a game that had more than 10 minutes of overtime. Diaz has just put up nearly 1,000. Yeah, he's up to 990 now. Then another 2 there with the hit, and there's their final score, 992 points, almost 1,000 points in regulation, and it's against Vitality of all teams. So just an insane game here. And if I'm going to go do some hunting. I might pin a comment if I find out. Has there been a 1,000 point game in regulation before? There's been many with overtimes, but when you're talking about points per minute, this is one of the all-time great performances from Diaz. Obviously punishing a Vitality who needed to overextend at the end, especially after they went down 4-1. They needed to leave themselves a bit loose in defense. That opened up more opportunities for Diaz to add to his already impressive goal tally. But it doesn't matter. This, regardless of the circumstances, was a Vitality team who are trying their hardest to win start to finish in a very competitive match. Well, at least at this point it was, and it did continue to be after this, but an absolute blowout win in Game 3, and Diaz with the highest goals in a single game ever in an RLCS LAN. Absolutely amazing stuff. Let me know in the comments what other games you want me to cover from the kickoff LAN. I want to make a bunch of videos about this. It was super interesting. I think it was a big success. Had a great I had a great time at the kickoff LAN in Copenhagen, and I hope they run more events like this in the future. And also check out the links in the description for thenextrank.com. Myself and apparently Jack will be making some videos on the Next Rank channel about the kickoff LAN as well, so you can always check out there for more content about pro teams, analysis, how to add things to your game that you can learn from the pros, and also Chalkcast. We're looking to make content with myself and CJ at the FIFA E World Cup that's coming up. So yeah, we're going to be remote there trying to record content for you guys. Check out the links for Chalkcast in the description as well if you're interested in seeing a bit of that. But that's just a short video for you guys today. Just a historic game. Had to make a video commemorating this achievement. Congrats to Diaz. Can't wait to see more of Space Station in the season. They're super fun to watch. Really exciting team, and I don't think they've reached their ceiling yet. Vitality, lot to work on. Maybe I can make a video about that if you guys are interested as well. But thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.